We got to talk about this iPay-per-view on June 2nd. It's the Aniversario. It's Chikara's big annual iPay-per-view, and there's so much going on. Bryce, where do you want to start?
It's so true. The things are in a state of chaos, in a state of tumult. And if there's one thing I hate more than I would say, I don't know, racists or sexist, it's definitely compromising. So we will never compromise on Sunday, June 2nd, live at the Trocadero in Philadelphia, or if you cannot join us in Philadelphia, it is Wizard World Comic-Con weekend in Philadelphia. If you can't join us live in Philadelphia, you can join us anywhere in the world that has the internet, which I understand is in all 50 states now. smvod.com. Order the iPay-per-view. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't worry about, connections and all that bad news. Order it now. Make sure you're all set. Invite your friends over. Have a Chikara iPay-per-view party and watch Aniversario Never Compromise from the comforts of your very own home.
Yes, absolutely. I know I'm not going to make it to Philadelphia, but I'm definitely going to be watching on smvod.com because it is a great broadcast. It handled so much of what went on during WrestleMania weekend that now it's just natural to continue that flow right into the Aniversario. And we've got so many great matches coming up on that. But first, I got to ask this. What exactly is a sarcophagus match going to be? I don't quite understand that stipulation.
I'm not sure I understand either. I don't understand a lot of decisions that Wayne Vavasseur has made. But my understanding, and I have actually seen the sarcophagus, believe it or not. I got an exclusive advanced look at the sarcophagus, and it kind of looked like an Egyptian casket, let's say. So I feel like if you understand the rules of a casket match, you will understand the rules of a sarcophagus match. They're not the same thing, but I would say the same idea. So, I mean, there's definitely some symbolism there. Ophidian essentially tried to kill Amasa's character, bury him. He rose back, and now we'll take, they were supposed to have a singles match at WrestleCon, as you mentioned. Ophidian wasn't feeling up to it, but there will be, no retreat, no surrender. There must be a winner, one or the other. Well, I imagine stuff the other one into the sarcophagus live on iPay-per-view. First, I'm willing to bet I have to go back and look through all the old record books and all the old, NWA Starcades and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the first sarcophagus match ever on pay-per-view.
I think you're right about that, and I love that.
I don't know. Dirty Dick Slater and Ricky Morton had a heck of a sarcophagus, but I don't think that was televised.
Yes, it'll be the first one on internet pay-per-view, regardless of who had one in the past. And
that's right.
If it was just a casket match, I might be kind of ho-hum about it because I saw Mark Henry and The Undertaker have a terrible casket match at WrestleMania, and I was there live. So the sarcophagus is a nice
I would probably
twist.
blame that on Mark Henry.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly moving the fastest in those days. Not that he's ever broken world land speed records. He breaks world weightlifting records. So you kind of got to know what you're getting with Mark Henry. But in this case, both guys are going to be moving really fast. And as you said, it's a blood feud. These guys don't like each other. Ophidian's been screwing with the bosses for a long time now. So it's time for some payback.
Yeah. Be one of the featured attractions on iPay-per-view. Also, a very interesting situation developing between Grand Champion Eddie Kingston, who will make his 14th defense of the Grand Championship against the Winged Ring Warrior Icarus. Both these guys have had an interesting season so far, and it'd be interesting to see what happens when they end up in the same ring at the same time on next Sunday, just 10 days away, next Sunday on iPay-per-view.
Now, it hasn't been put over that much, but I'm going to put it over right here. I think Eddie Kingston might be the longest reigning world champion now that CM Punk has dropped the title a few months ago. I think Eddie Kingston owns that right now in the world at the moment.
It's possible. He's been champion for over a year and a half now. Very narrowly left Chicago with the title belt last Saturday. In an interesting circumstance, it was the only of his Grand Championship title defenses to have a no decision, no contest. But, of course, he did leave with the belt as Archibald Peck seemingly vanished into thin air. So you can't win a title if you have disappeared, I suppose.
Well, let's move on to another match from the Aniversario. never compromise when you're Gavin Loudspeaker or Tim Donst because somebody is going to be winning the favor of the director of fun.
Yeah, interesting situation there. Gavin's kind of been poking at Donst all year. I mean, really, if you look at these two polarizing opposites, I mean, Tim Donst embodies everything that's negative, everything that's awful. He despises wrestling, he despises fun, he despises, enjoyment of anything. And Gavin Loudspeaker is kind of the fun conductor at a Chikara live event. He's a master of ceremonies. He sings before the show. He keeps the shows moving. He's an excellent announcer. He's an excellent commentator. So for him to, put himself on the line there, put himself up against, this is not his choice. This is Wink's choice. I've spoken to Gavin. I'm close friends with the guy. He's not interested in a fight, but, Bobasaur says he has to fight, so, he's been at the Wrestle Factory training, I know. He's been learning some things from Green Ant, learning some things from Hollow Wicked. He's going to be as ready as he can possibly be come June 2nd.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of the people in our AngryMarks.com/chat are talking about Kaiju Big Battle, so I think they've figured out that Gavin Loudspeaker might also be known as Loud and Noxious. I believe there's a connection.
What? Sometimes you say crazy things in chat rooms. I was on a chat room once in AOL, and it was about 1997. So I'm glad to see they're still kicking.
Yes,
I had a free disc. 43 hours. I was allowed to go on until upgraded 9.0.
Ours is, I would say it's live and kicking, but actually a lot of the people in the chat room right now appear to be biotic. It's like we're having an invasion from Dr. Cube and all these robots are taking over because we have a biotic panda, a biotic tensai, a biotic iguana all in our chat room right now.
I hate when that happens. That's the worst. That happens to me every single Thursday. It's such an inconvenience.
You know what, though? I think that could be an awesome trio for the King of Trios. I could see a Biotic Panda, a Biotic Tensai, and a Biotic Iguana. They could call themselves Los Biotic Animales and just come in and take over.
Hey, man, I'm smelling what you're stepping in. I'm in. I'm in. Let's do it. Let's rock.
Only if you're the referee for that match. That's the only
fair. I'll send you my extensive booking contract and my dressing room rider.
All right. Well, speaking of which, we got somebody that's going to get an extensive contract in the form of Saturnine, and she's battling Markangela Asadi. I believe Sierra had a question about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to ramble. I apologize. Please go on.
Okay. Saturnine takes on Mr. Touchdown, Markangela Asadi, in a Young Lions Cup rematch. Do you see Mr. Touchdown winning this one again?
I don't know. I think Saturnine's got a lot to prove. She had a shot back in February back in Easton. She was unsuccessful, and I think that she's learned a lot. She's picked up a couple of big victories in Chikara and other places, and I think that, the time is sort of now for her. She knows what she has to do, and she's got a lot to prove to the world, but mostly herself. So I definitely think she will have her best foot forward here, and I think it's possible. I believe in her. She could leave Philadelphia as the first Young Lioness Cup holder.
Ooh, what do you think about that, Stevie?
I love it. Yeah, we need to change the name of the cup if it goes to Saturnine. That's perfect.
Yeah, well, the engraver is going to be really pissed.
Well, that cup has been through so much abuse, I don't think the engraver could complain. I've seen it get slammed into people's heads, get thrown down on the floor in disgust by Tim Donst, I believe. And that cup has been abused. True. Yeah, quite a bit of abuse for that. You don't see Lord Stanley's cup get treated like the Young Lions Cup does.
That's true. I do remember a young Chuck Taylor wanted to drink milk out of it once and was told no.
Yes, everybody go look for that on smartmarkvideo.com and be sure to pre-order the pay-per-view right now before June 2nd so you don't miss out. smvod.com. Bryce, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
An absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, and let's talk wrestling further on Facebook and Twitter and virtually. Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure, Bryce. Take care.
Cheers.
All right, everybody, that was Bryce Remsburg, the most awesomest referee in the world. And I just said so, and it's true. Sierra, what do you think?
It's like when I watch indie shows and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I see Bryce and I'm like, wait, you're here too? He's everywhere. He's in Shimmer, I believe in Shine, Chikara, CZW. I mean, pretty much everywhere you can think of, you're going to see Bryce.